Hello everybody, my name is Laurent, and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a bit different than my usual videos, but I think you'll enjoy it nonetheless. Over the summer, I bought a 1982 Honda Ascot for $200 Canadian that I found at an estate sale on Kijiji, which is basically like a Canadian Craigslist. Anyway, I did a lot of work on the bike over the summer, like painting the frame as well as some other pieces, restoring the front and rear suspensions, and a few other things. I stopped working on it for a while because I've gotten pretty busy with work and it's gotten pretty cold out here in Canada, and working on cold metal parts is not really that fun. However, all I really ever think about is getting this bike working again, and I really want to chip away at it so it'll be ready for the spring. So although I can't paint the gas tank yet, I can definitely work out some of the dents in it. Now, over the summer I actually tried using epoxy and some nails to try and pull the dents out, but it didn't work that well for me. So to get rid of them completely, I'll be using Bondo. It's a pretty simple process. You basically mix a small batch using the directions on the can and apply it to your dented area. If your area is painted like on a car, you need to sand it down to the bare metal. I sanded all the paint and rust off over the summer, which is why there's no snow in the footage. I thoroughly mixed my Bondo and started applying it to the dented areas. A metal or rubber spatula would probably work really well for this, but I just used a paint mixing stick that I found in my basement. The idea is to try and fill and blend the dents with the Bondo, then let it dry. It was very rough when it was dry, so I went back with a mouse sander to get it nice and smooth. This is a good time to check if there are any low spots in the filler. I had a few, so I would need to mix a second batch to cover them. So I mixed up some more Bondo and went over my low spots and repeated the sanding process, this time being a lot more thorough. The goal here is to sand the Bondo into the shape you need, as well as blend the Bondo into the metal. I blended my edges until I could no longer feel them by running my finger along them. If you were doing auto body work, you would want this to be as precise as possible to blend with the existing paint. But because I'll be giving this a few coats of primer, it's okay if there's some really small edges and scratches. But when I say really small, I mean like really small, like 800 grit sandpaper small scratches. To me, so far Bondo seems to be a process of about 90% sanding, 7% very sensual touching in between sandings to make sure it's smooth, and about 3% applying the Bondo. It's worth noting that Bondo dust is really toxic, so throughout all of this sanding I was wearing a dust mask as well as safety glasses to protect my lungs and my eyes. Once the Bondo was perfectly smooth and I was satisfied with how it looked and felt, I dusted it all off and set it on this lumber rest. Now, as much as I'm dying to paint this with Canada's national colors, red and white, spray paint just does not work at -15 Celsius. It freezes as soon as it comes out of the nozzle, and you end up with really blotchy paint that doesn't have a good bond to the piece. So I'll either need to wait till the summer to paint this, or potentially build a paint booth, which is a project I've been thinking about for a while, so who knows, maybe that will be a future video. Either way, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on uploading everything I do with my motorcycle from here on out. That way others out there can potentially learn from these videos, or if nothing else, it will be a great memory for me to look back on. If you have any suggestions for the bike or future projects, be sure to let me know down below. That being said, you guys, have a fantastic day. Bye bye, everyone.